To our asynchronous session for this week in English 12A. We're talking about research questions today. Our objective is to be able to generate a specific and guided research question. The purpose of this task is to help us narrow down our focus in research. So in this class, your first project is going to be a research project. So having a guided research question will help you with the course of researching for that project. Now, this project's not due until Unit 3, and we are in Unit 2 at this point, but I encourage you to begin working on the research and the writing of that topic research question this week. It does walk you through in the lessons the different steps for pre-writing and brainstorming and working towards researching for your essay. So we're going to talk a little bit about how to generate that research question today. So our objective is to be able to generate a specific and guided research question that you can hopefully use to guide yourself through this project. All right, before we get started into going over what research questions are and how to go about developing one, I want to give you the first 3 words of your access code. They are PIC. So take a minute, pause me, and write down PIC on your paper or on your notebook that you have handy next to you. Okay, so as I mentioned, our objective is to be able to generate a specific and guided research question. So you might think, I've never used a research question before. What exactly is that? Well, a research question is a question that is designed to guide our research. So it's exactly what it sounds like. It only really has 3 specific elements. It needs to be a question, obviously. It needs to be direct, and it does need to have some specificity. So it needs to be specific. If we ask too broad of a question, then we're going to be given too much information that we have to wade through. It's always better to broaden our search than to have to narrow it, because once we've started doing the research, we don't want to have to continually narrow our focus or just wasting time. So our whole purpose or goal with research questions is to be able to have a narrow focus. Then we can always broaden the net if we need to. So the purpose of the question is to narrow that focus of our research as well as guide us with what to research. So if we're just researching a topic like, video games, there are so many video games out there. Like, what type of video games do you want to research? What element of video games do you want to research? So this is where developing a research question can act like a funnel. So I don't know if you guys remember back to learning how to write introductions. You are always given this. My triangle is not going to be very attractive, unfortunately. You're always given this upside down triangle. Side didn't look very good. There we go. That's got to be good enough. Given this triangle to narrow the focus of your introduction. So that's what we're going to use here to narrow the focus of our question. Our topic would go at the top or the top of this upside down triangle, and then we'll narrow our focus as we go down. So let's use my example of video games. So if video games is my topic, my overarching topic, I have to ask myself, well, what do I want to know about video games? So this is going to allow me to begin narrowing my focus and going down to where I'll have a narrow focus for my research question. What do I want to know about video games? Well, I kind of want to know, as a parent, I guess I'm speaking as a parent here, I kind of want to know, are they addictive? That's what I want to know because my son loves to play video games. So are they addictive? Do they cause violence? This is also something that I want to know about video games. What else do I want to know about video games? How much is too much per day? What else do I want to know about video games? I want to know if there is an impact on the brain. I should say, do they impact brain development? That makes more sense, right? All right, so I've asked myself those questions. That's what I want to know about video games. Now, you might want to know different things about video games, which is perfectly acceptable. You don't obviously need to follow my pattern here. But as a parent, I'm looking at video games in this perspective because they're the questions that I've had about video games in the past. So I've narrowed my focus down to those questions. So now I need to ask myself, from those questions, what do I want to know most? And is it going to be narrow enough of a focus? So I also want to stray away from yes or no questions. If I ask a yes or no question, I might be able to have some research, but not a lot to back up. And since we're writing a pretty long paper, 3 to 5 pages, I want to make sure that I'm not just asking a question that can be answered super easily with a yes or a no and just a tiny bit of explanation. So I kind of want to know if video games impact brain development. So that I'm going to rewrite my question. This is going to be the tip of my triangle. I don't know if you can tell what I'm doing. There we go. Tip of my triangle. I'm going to ask, how do video games impact brain development in children under 12? All right, so now I want to know that, and I've narrowed my focus to children under 12 because my son is 7. So I kind of want to know what that brain development impact is on children under the age of 12. Now, this is one of those instances where once I start researching, I might find, ooh, I narrowed that too much. I might need to do children in general or all ages. So that can be a decision I make after I start doing research. But now what I've allowed myself to do is narrow my focus enough so I know which element of video games I would like to research and in what regard. So when I go do my research, I'm going to look up video games and the impact they have on brain development, and I'm going to look for research and studies that indicate whether there's positive or negative impacts on brain development in children with video games. I hope that makes sense. All right, your last 3 letters in your access code are K, L, E. So hopefully you wrote down those first 3, and now the last 3 are K, L, E. So hopefully that was helpful in you determining how you can create a research question. In the quiz, when you go to take the quiz in the course after you finish watching the video, you are going to be asked to generate your own research question to demonstrate your understanding of how to do this. And I am going to ask you to show me how you do it using this funnel technique, how you go from a broad topic to a more narrow question. So keep that in mind when you're picking your ideas. If you have any questions about this process of generating a research question, don't hesitate to reach out to me, give me a call, and let me know what I can do to help you.